Spending quality time with your spouse. We're living in a busy world, and it seems that we all have only two speeds: fast and faster. We do not seem to be able to slow down, let alone stop. And we want to do things by yesterday, if that was possible. We all want faster cars, faster phones, and this makes spending quality time with our spouses a utopia in this modern society. In my humble experience as a husband and a pastor for 20 plus years, I found out that there are only three main reasons which stand in the way of spending good time with our spouses. Reason number one deals with the providers. It's almost a nonsense to refer to men as the providers for their household in our days. And in no way do I want to sound sexist or limit the usefulness of a smart and energetic wife. But I would just want to mention that the husband was designed to be the provider for his family. A misunderstanding of his role turned him into either a dictator or a quitter, thus pushing our wives out of our own homes. For those husbands that are still of the old school, I have a message of appreciation, but I also have a warning at the same time. Appreciation because they find the emotional and physical strength to get up and be the man that God wants them to be. A warning so that they would not be trapped in the superficial thinking that all that their spouses need is money. Now, reason number two would affect our devices and our technology. I'm confident that we all have seen that silly picture where a couple is sitting at the same table and they are texting to each other. I know it's pretty silly, but there is a lot of truth in it. Technology addiction has become a real impediment in actually spending quality time with our spouses. We tend to be more concerned about how many pictures we post on Facebook, with our spouses for that matter, than being fully present with them. We gather together in front of a nice and cozy fireplace just so we can watch a movie together, and thus we're blinding ourselves that we're spending time together. Spending quality time means putting all these distractions away and being there for our spouses, paying attention to the conversation, and not only being able to technically repeat what they say, but actually noticing the faces they make and even noticing the slightest changes in their tone of voice. In other words, we need to focus on them during those moments. Experience such a connection as if the only ones that are left on this planet are the two of you. Now, reason number three deals with a very special category, that of pastors, preachers, and missionaries. I personally believe that of all these three categories, this one is the most difficult one. The reason being is that they think that the nature of their work exempts them from spending quality time with their spouses. The problem is that even when a pastor is at home, he tends to bring his church work and church problems with him. His phone is never turned off because he always wants to be in touch with his flock. This is definitely our trap, and we need to understand that God never gave us such a responsibility as to the neglect of our own spouses. My fellow pastor, if you are in this category, I would like to invite you to leave your church work and problems at the door when you come back home at the end of the day. Never leave God for God. In other words, God has never called us to deprive our spouses of our time